Alright.
Accelerating.
We are here now with Newew15.
Hey guys.
Say hi. Okay, so what we're gonna do here is we're just gonna have a little chat, you and I.
Yep.
With perfect tempo.
And yes, I'm going top. Or teleporting top, whichever.
Whatever works.
Yeah, whatever works. In the meantime, you and I are gonna have ourselves a little chat. I do not like those odds up there, but either way, we can see what happens. Okay, so
A sublime duet.
She's messing with me. Okay, so tell me, because I'm very, very interested
Like a metronome.
in where this conversation will go. Tell me what happened the last couple of days. I believe there was a thing on Facebook about something about a Waffle House, and I wasn't really up on this situation until I was told about it today. I usually don't keep track of everybody's tragedies.
It was on the news. A Waffle House got shot up by a crazy dude.
May I ask if he was white or black?
He was white. Go
Was
figure.
he on psychotropic drugs?
They didn't say.
Okay, well, usually that's a thing. Now, if I remember correctly, this actually hit pretty hard home for you, didn't it?
Yeah, kinda did.
Now, in the event that maybe, like, because this hit home, I think the last thing that anybody would want is for you to go through the feelings and emotions, but could you at least tell me what happened? What did you do when you first heard it?
I made a YouTube video.
And you ranted about it, didn't you?
Yes,
Yeah,
I did.
because that's what we do nowadays, Americans. We rant. And how did you? What did you rant about? Why was you ranting about?
I was ranting because it seemed like if the assailant who did the mass shooting or whatever is white, on the news it seems they always want to say, oh, he had a troubled past, or he had a mental, like something mental wrong with him, and it pisses me off because it's always the same thing. Oh, he has a mental issue, and they never do the same thing when it comes to, say, a black assailant or a brown one. They call them thugs or terrorists.
And you feel very strongly about this.
Yes, because it's no coincidence. It always happened. Always.
First blood.
There we go.
Always. Like, it always happens. It never fails. They always say, oh, he was a good, like they always say, oh, he was always quiet or a good kid.
Yeah.
So,
If anything like that were to happen today, of course you'd be very, like, in your area, you'd be very upset, would you not?
yeah.
Do you believe gun control is the problem? I heard they took his gun away from him.
I concur.
This is what happened. Basically, on the news, they said that they took it away from him, but they gave it to the father, who said that he's not going to give it back to the son. But after the police already went away or whatever, he gave it back to him, and the person shot out the Waffle House.
Whoa, what a situation. So,
That the father might get charged too.
And now, do you have any idea what he could be charged with?
No.
Would he be... Is the guy who was,
A
who shot up the
symphony of
place, is he
justice.
dead?
No, he's alive.
Is he in hiding? Did the
No,
police
they
have
caught him.
Okay. So, would it be fair to say that his father could face the exact same, if not more, charges?
Adagio, summoner.
Honestly, I don't know.
Do you think that's right?
Yeah, because he gave the sucker the gun back. He needed to be accountable for his actions.
Right. And I think it's a fair bet to say that we should all be accountable for our actions. If we give somebody something and we know they're not ready for it, I think we should face the consequences of our own actions, because if they go and they cause problems and they cause trouble,
Delicately.
and you know that they're going to cause the trouble. I'm sure the father wasn't exactly certain. At least he may have had some idea in his head.
But, like, how many times are we gonna have to see another tragedy on TV? Like, it's getting ridiculous of how many times something like this happens.
Double kill.
And it's really sad to me, personally. It's sad. And then, that same day when I was watching the news and they were talking about the Waffle House and all that, a guy in Toronto, Canada ran over with their car, ran over a lot of
This I
pedestrians.
did hear about.
Yeah, like ran over people, and I think 10 people died and 16 were injured the last time I heard about
Perfect
it.
tempo.
I don't know the actual number, so
Like-
I can't speak on it.
Okay,
Yeah,
9 died, 16 injured.
And there are a couple people in
The
the hospital in critical condition.
Yeah. So I feel like it's gonna steadily climb up. So it's sad that people do that. It's really sad.
Adagio, summoner.
But all you can do really is pray for a better world and pray for them.
Destroyed.
Keep everything like it's gonna happen regardless. It's just it's really sad.
Accelerated movement.
It
then-
is really sad.
And then what gets me is that people, like, you heard about there's certain people who don't like that the Parkland kids from the Parkland school shooting, like the kids who survived it, are doing like marches and stuff like that, and some people who are very like gun ho, like very anti like gun control,
Mhm.
like they used one of the survivors as target practice, like a picture of him.
Oh, I thought they used the actual.
No,
survivors.
no.
Okay.
Like
Yeah,
the
we
picture.
gotta watch our wording here.
Sorry, like the actual like a picture, like you know how like they have cutouts and stuff of like WWE superstars and stuff like that,
Yeah.
but they had like a poster, like a picture of him, and they were using it as target practice.
How long are they doing that?
Crazy, I don't know, but basically they were just doing that. And then there's another one where you heard that the girl, I can't remember her name, she's a part of it, like the marching and stuff too. And there's like a doctored video of her ripping the Constitution. Like, it's not even her actually doing it.
Is it like a meme, or could it be something more sinister?
I think it became more sinister, like a meme. But it wasn't really the Constitution. But
From my mind,
You know how-
yours.
you know how like with certain videos, like the deep fakes and stuff, how it looks so real.
Yeah.
They did something like that with the video of her ripping something, and they made that into the Constitution.
Okay.
A sublime duet.
So, and this is, I think there's a lot of people calling for change nowadays. And although I'm not exactly a political figure in any sense of the word, shape, form, or fashion,
Time.
I tend to think about what I'm hearing, and I think a lot of people who are calling for change right now don't want to do away with the system in place, not actually, because they don't have a solution. Their solution is other things that did not work. What they want to do is try other ways of doing things. And it's not that we shouldn't try other ways of doing things, it's that I think the things that people are trying are things that other people are saying, well, this won't work, that won't work. It's pretty clear that we don't know what works. Right now we live under a capitalist system. Everything is about the money. And right now it's a toss-up as to whether or not you are, as to whether or not you have the right idea. But I think a lot of people are very serious about what they want. And unfortunately, I think what most people are going to find is that when you argue for something to be torn down, eventually you end up accepting the old rules and coming to the exact same conclusion while making a few different adjustments. And I feel like this is the way it's going to go the most. It's a method of, I don't want this system in place, and then realizing that the current rules allow for you to do certain things that maybe you didn't have the power to do under your laws. And then it comes down to, well, maybe we don't have to destroy everything, let's keep a few things, but
amend them, like change a little bit of it to make it make sense, or to do away with certain things.
Shall we resolve this? Double kill.
yes.
But it's just,
I don't blame you for being exasperated. This is definitely not the happiest subject in the world to talk about, and definitely not the easiest. But right now, what can we do about gun control?
to me, don't get rid of all guns, but I feel like they should just regulate it better.
Yeah.
Like, it's so easy. To me personally, it looks like it's so easy to get a gun now. Where, like, say in Japan, it's harder to get a gun there, where you have to go through all these steps to even get one. You have to go through a class to make sure you actually know what you're doing with the gun. You have to go through a mental evaluation, background check. You have to say okay to a search, not really a search, but a certain amount of years. Like, when you have the gun, you have to say yes to being like where the cop will come to your house and check if the gun is stored in a safe place, and routine checked with the gun. But also, I feel like it should be I'm sorry, y'all, but just make it hard. Like, don't make it too hard, but make it a little bit, not as easy.
Right.
Yeah, like, not as easy to get one. Because it seems like a lot of guns lately have been going into the wrong hands.
It does. It does, actually.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of them are going in the wrong hands. And if you count of how many mass shootings that have happened since Columbine, there's a lot.
Yeah. And it doesn't seem to be getting any better. So I think the solution is, what you're saying is, the solution is to get better ideas of what gun control is or should be.
Yes.
And you think Japan has the option?
Yes.
Now, in your personal opinion, would you take guns away from, say, the teacher law that they're doing in Florida, where the teachers have guns.
Yes, that's stupid. That's the most stupidest idea ever.
When have you heard about a teacher going in?
A lot. Teachers are the overly okay. It's stupid. It's really stupid because one, teachers are overly stressed. They're paid less than they should. And what will happen if, say, a student pees off a teacher so bad to the point they have a psychotic break and they have a gun and they shoot up the class? Think, or if a badass kid take the gun, because there are some students who try and beat up their teachers.
Yes. And having a gun in the classroom could actually prevent a lot more guns in a lot more places.
Yeah, I think this is just a terrible idea to put a gun on teachers. It's just a horrible idea, terrible idea that shouldn't even been thought of. Because it's just it don't make any sense.
Adagio, summoner.
So it's just mind-boggling to me that they're going to put guns on teachers. Like, are they gonna train the teachers on how to actually use them?
I think that if any other teacher, I think a teacher has to go through a background check as it is in order to teach a class full of impressionable young students. And I'm not entirely certain if having a class to teach the adults how to be adults, so to speak, would be a bad thing. But at the same time, think about it. You're willing to work with kids. Remember how you were as a kid?
Ugh.
I'm pretty sure I wasn't the greatest kid either.
I
so
wasn't
I think
either.
That maybe, just maybe, people who are crazy enough to sign up for that are the ones who...
Well, honestly, I don't think so, because certain teachers that I had, they didn't like teaching.
Right.
Most of the time, some teachers are really nice. Like, if you're lucky and you get a teacher who actually loves their job and loves teaching you and loves to shape you for the future, then you're lucky and you got a cool teacher. Then there's some teachers who are just there for a paycheck and just can't stand kids. So I had a few of those teachers too. And those type of teachers made learning difficult.
Yes.
So I feel like it's a toss-up between some of the teachers you can trust with a gun and some of them you're like, ooh, I'm not too sure about that.
Harmoniously.
Right.
So it's just, to me, it's just a bad idea anyway. I feel like deep in my gut, I feel like it's a real bad idea to give teachers guns. It's a terrible idea. But it would have made more sense if they said, hey, we're gonna get more police officers in school or stuff like that. But then kids would feel more like the school is slowly turning into a prison. Which at the Parkland school, I was reading an article where now they're giving kids clear backpacks now.
Yeah, I hear that a lot of them are complaining about this.
Yeah, some of them are because it's an invasion of privacy, they said. And that, what if they have to have like period stuff on them and then people can see through it and it's embarrassing for the girl?
But aren't they the ones that called for gun reform and change?
Yeah.
Are they not a fan of the whole...
Clear backpack. And then some of them saying that they don't like it because it's making their school feel like a prison.
It kind of is. You can't be more safe and less restricted at the same time.
basically there's security checkpoints now at the school
Okay.
where when they go in, they have like security, like then the school's gonna have metal detectors and teachers are gonna have metal wands. It's slowly becoming prison.
You can't have lax security measures. That's definitely the opposite of what you want.
A sublime duel.
Yeah, but then also it's like I can kind of see where the kids are coming from. Like you go there to learn, but then it feels very tense. Like you can't breathe. Like it's very restricted. But then on another hand, it's like it's a necessary evil too. So something like that won't happen again.
Yeah.
So it's a necessary evil, but the kids don't
The
like it.
fanfare ascends.
Alright. So, in your personal opinion, what is safer for you?
Honestly, I feel like the security.
Adagio,
To me
summoner.
personally, I think they should have already, like the school should have already had like a security measures in place that no one who doesn't go to that school could just walk in without actually showing ID, without going through the necessary steps. So it's sad that that had to happen, and now they're doing it now. But I feel like if I could, if I was a mom, if I could, I would homeschool my kids if I was able to. But
That does sound like a good idea.
yeah, cause I went to public school.
It's rough,
It's rough.
but
Shall
It's a
we
system.
resolve
It's a
this
system in
dispute?
place, but then they mess it up with Common Core. But it's just a whole lot of mess that's happening. And I feel like the only way we could really keep everybody safe is to have these security measures in place. Because if not,
With perfect tempo.
Things like that could happen.
yeah. And I'm willing to believe you on that. That's something I'm willing to go with you on.
Like a metronome.
I feel like everybody has a different idea of what they want, and if we can find some sort of happy medium, that'd be great. But I don't think that's gonna happen. Not unless we get to sharing the ideas and things peacefully. If we don't have an idea of what we want, we're most likely going to fail and be the same messed up individuals that we were when we realized that there was a problem.
Yep.
And that's pretty harsh. That's pretty hard to accept.
Yeah, and another thing I noticed about America in itself, it doesn't like to remember the past. It
Memory worse than WWE.
yes, way worse. Basically, they don't want to acknowledge it that in the past America did some really messed up stuff, and they like to skim by it and don't talk about it. While in other countries, say Germany, they do extensively talk about the Holocaust and all the things that happened, so it doesn't repeat.
Shall we resolve this
So
dispute?
that can never repeat itself. But the thing is with America is they skim history. They talk about slavery a little bit. They talk about Jim Crow a little bit. They talk about all these atrocities.
Like a metronome.
Trust.
Yeah, that's what I meant to say. I can't say that word. But they talk about that, what they did, but very little. To the point that the only thing that they really talk about from Black History Month is Rosa Parks and Martin Luther King and maybe Malcolm X.
Do you think maybe we've forgotten?
Yeah, Honestly, I feel like a lot of black people don't know their history and don't know that a lot of things that black people have
From
done,
my mind to yours.
especially for history. I think they don't know exactly how smart we as a people were. Our people.
You mean are? We're still
Yeah.
smart.
We are still smart, but it's like they don't know all the people and what they have accomplished. All black people have accomplished over the years. And it's sad that black history isn't fully, like, really taught in school. And that's sad.
It is sad.
And then they don't talk about everything that happened. So that's why it's important for parents, and especially parents, to teach their kids their history. Because the school won't, so you should teach your kids that history.
The fanfare
Like kind of a story that's been passed on for some time.
Yeah, but it's true. Even though some of it is sad and depressing, but it's important to know all the things that happen. Because if you don't know, it's doomed to repeat.
Right. Well, it's been really good talking to you. I hope we can get each other again.
Yeah.
And I'd love to do an interview, like kind of a response interview on your page. You can ask me some questions.
That'd be cool.
So let's definitely go out and talk sometime, and I think it'll be a learning experience for us both. So this was fun.
This was fun. Guys, check out my channel.
Yeah, check out
Newew15.
Newew15. Check out her channel for her latest rant, blog, and see you all.
Bye, guys.